took me, they dragged me into the water, death roll, and then ripped me apart. And the chance of surviving a saltwater crocodile attack in deep water are almost nil. Amazing to see so close, but this means that salty's here. I don't want to be close to the river. I'm going to move back inland.
This is episode number 334 of the Homeowner Show. Well, whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're so glad you could join us for another episode here in the studio. How you doing, Kev?
I am doing great. It's good to be back in the studio, and, you know, life's good.
Yeah.
I think that one of these days it might turn into fall here in Houston, but I don't know what it's going to be.
Tell
yet.
My armpits when that happens.
Yeah,
please.
exactly. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Dude, let's go ahead and get the sponsor out of the way.
Okay, let's do it.
Because we want to make sure and give them credit where credit is due. Thank you guys
That's right.
for helping us, supporting them and keeping us on the air by supporting our sponsor. Sponsor today is help me out, Kev.
True Texas Solar.
Thank you. I got a complete brain fart. I was ready for it. I was like, I know what they do. I know who they are. I can say their names. True Texas Solar and Roofing.
That's it. That's it. And man, let me tell you, like we're kind of in one of those times where we're at coming up on the end of the year, and tax incentives are still in place.
Yep.
They have not been removed
For some weird reason.
For some weird reason, a lot of other things have been removed. It feels like, but here's the thing. If you're interested in getting some tax incentives, do it before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like, try to get that in sooner than later, you know?
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, like when we say True Texas Solar and Roofing, I mean, like you immediately think solar panels and roofing, which they do that and they do an incredible job at it.
Yep.
But it's a full whole home energy independence company, generators, whole home batteries, the whole schlemiel of whatever it is that you want with power independence. They got you covered.
Yeah, and the other thing that they're really leaning into a lot right now is Tesla. They've got like the full line of Tesla stuff. They're actually one of the only installers in the area that can do Tesla's solar roof, their Powerwall stuff, which is, you know, like plugging your device in, like your device, it's a car or whatever else. They can also do their batteries. So they've kind of got the full gamut of what Tesla offers.
Yeah.
And look, Tesla's kind of the, you know, cream of the crop whenever it comes to...
They're the standard.
Yeah, they are the standard. Everybody else is trying to catch up with them, and they've got all their products. So, you know, if you're interested in getting the top of the line, they can do it for you. Now, they offer other products as well that are also very good. But look, if you're getting the tax advantage, and you know it may be that's going to be your best warranty, it's going to be the best product, all that kind of stuff for your installation, I would say go for it. If you want to get in touch with them, call Josh today. His number is 936-286-8325.
Awesome. Well, we got a couple stories we want to get to tonight, but before we do, it is football season.
It is football
And we had a
season.
great weekend.
Yeah.
And let me send some love to your Texas Tech Raiders.
Okay.
So I'll give you a thought that you probably wouldn't expect.
Okay.
I actually think they're probably the most dangerous team in college football right now.
Okay.
And
I'm
not saying
curious why you think that.
I'm not saying they're the best.
Sure.
I'm thinking they're the most dangerous because I think most people are sleeping on them.
Yeah.
I think most teams are sleeping on them. I don't think most teams in the Big 12 are sleeping on them, but I don't think they have a choice at this point.
Right.
You know,
Well, the Big 12 is, I mean, look, who's the competition?
the Big 12 got gutted.
Right.
And now, I mean, like I think they have one big hurdle in Arizona State.
Maybe.
I don't think that's a difficult hurdle for them.
No.
But I think they've got a real good shot of being in the playoffs, no question.
Yeah.
Especially if they win out
Sure.
Which it looks really possible for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, you win the Big 12, you're in. That's first and foremost. I mean, you control your own destiny if you are in a major conference by just winning your conference.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's fair.
Sure.
But I think the win that they had over U of H was more significant than a lot of people are giving them credit for.
Yeah.
U of H is no chump.
No, especially with their defense. Their defense is I think that here's what I think. I think U of H slept on Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that U of H was not expecting Oregon State to be much. I mean, Tech comes in and just annihilates Oregon State. And I think they just probably thought, not that big of a deal. But they were down, and they came back and wound up winning against them. And you come and play at U of H. Now, there's a lot of people can say what you want to. Tech was overwhelmingly present.
Sure.
At that game.
I mean, it's an in-state rivalry.
It's an in-state rivalry, and Houston has things to prove.
Well, there's a lot of Tech fans in Houston.
There's a lot of Tech fans in Houston. You're right. But Houston, the U of H has a lot to prove.
Yeah.
Not in basketball, but they want people to.
They want people to
know that they're around in football.
Yeah,
too.
and I think they probably will be in a couple years.
I agree.
I think they'll always be number 2, number 3 in the Big 12 in years to come.
Yeah.
They've got the right coach to get them in line.
They do.
So
They do.
I don't think so. And that's why I say I think they're probably one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous team in college football right now. I think people are sleeping on them. They moved them up in the rankings, but I think people are still looking at them like, what? Why?
Well, but I think that Tech is right where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
would
mean
have
in the
loved,
rankings?
Yeah, I would have loved to see them at 8.
Uh-huh.
I think that they could have bumped Alabama. I mean, Alabama has a loss.
Sure.
You can say what you want to about strength, whatever. Alabama has a loss. I think they could have put them at 8, but honestly, I think it's just that's where Tech needs to be to give them a little bit of a, you know what? You want to leave us at 9?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave us at 9. We'll show you something.
And nine's fine. You're still in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So.
Absolutely. It's totally fine. I will agree with you. I don't think people think of Tech as a powerhouse in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot of people talking about them
They are.
just because of the money they spent.
Well, and the stats they're putting up this year.
But the stats they're putting up is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I will tell you the biggest weakness right now for Tech is they're still making stupid errors. And they're fouling in ways that are dumb, little like false starts, illegal shifts, things like that are just dumb. But they'll figure some of that out. They'll work through some of that. We came off of a bye week, and you would think that a bye week would make you better, but it typically doesn't.
Sure.
And so, there's that to work through, and frankly, and this is something that a lot of Tech fans are talking about, is that a lot of people think that the backup quarterback's better than the starter. And I believe he is, but he's more immature.
Sure.
The starter has more maturity. And so there's that. I think the raw talent, the backup's better. So there's a lot of life there. Here's what I'm expecting. And I guess here's the X factor that I've thought about. I don't know how many other people have thought about this. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that they're going to wind up rolling over quite a few teams in the Big 12, which means I think they're going to get more backups in for more games than any other team that will be in the playoffs, which means I think that they will have greater experienced depth than other teams based on maybe injuries down the line or just, you get winded. You got to put a backup in. I think that Tech has a greater opportunity for backups to have experience
To develop.
Yeah. Down towards the end of the season. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, I think that's a double-edged sword because, if you're playing so well that you're just steamrolling them and you put your second and third strings in on a pretty regular basis, like you probably hadn't been popped in the mouth yet.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely possible. I mean Utah was a tough game. especially the first half. I mean, it was a tough sledding on that.
Yeah.
Arizona State, maybe we'll see.
Maybe even BYU, man.
Maybe BYU.
They're still undefeated.
And they're undefeated, and again, they've got something to prove. Anytime you've got that, Tech now has, kind of like A&M,
yeah.
has a little bit of a target on their back. People are starting to go, okay, we've got to figure out a way to beat them, especially in the Big 12. You're right, the Big 12.
Yeah.
SEC, SEC still has Big Brother syndrome.
Yeah.
That we're better than everybody else, and for the most part, they are. I would completely agree with that. But they've got Big Brother syndrome, and so they never are going to think that a team like Tech is going to be better than them.
Oh, probably not. No.
But I will tell you, I was a little concerned for A&M in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
I was going, I'm afraid I was right. Because if you remember, a week or two ago, I was like, I just felt like A&M should have produced more on offense. Now, their defense was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, their defense is playing lights out right now.
Right, but their offense was just, I felt like they were slacking. Well, then the first quarter came out, and I was like, really the first half of that game, I was like, oh,
yeah, they scored one touchdown, which it was a good touchdown. It was like a 34-yard pass.
Right. But they got down to the goal line multiple times and could not punch it in.
Oh yeah, that that was weird.
And it took forever. That took like 9 years for them to actually play that fourth down. And then they missed it. And so like I was just like, man, what's up? Well, then the second half they just took over, which is what they should do. Yeah, that's what they should do. But so I felt better about A&M at that point as far as A&M goes. So who knows?
Yeah, what I keep hearing people say about them, and I agree, is we haven't seen them play a complete game.
Yeah, no, for sure,
and that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
because I mean, like when they decide to do it, I mean, who's it going to be against? God help them.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
it'll be interesting.
I mean, because I think the big thing is just Reed. I think he needs to just figure out how to come out.
He needs to calm down a little bit.
Just because like once you can tell when he calms down. I mean, he's throwing darts
so much better,
and it's fun to watch.
I tell you what else is fun to watch is the implosion of Texas.
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
it's so delicious.
Like I know that for you as an A&M guy, like watching Texas implode is great, but like for me, I mean, Texas has always been a rival for Tech as well. Sure. It's funny, like Texas doesn't see them as a rival as much, but Tech does, and like it is what it is. But I don't have a clue what's happening. Like it's just unbelievable to go from ranked number 1 at the beginning of the season to now you're not even in the 25, top 25.
But like, here's the thing: is they were in the top 10 still
somehow,
and because they lose to Florida, they're out of the top 25.
Yeah,
same with Penn State.
Penn State. Yeah. Well, Penn State lost back-to-back games.
Well, I think that Penn State's more fair than Texas.
I agree.
But like. And you know this, I've been singing this song all along. Like there's just like weird Kool-Aid in Austin, man, where everybody's just drinking it and going like, oh, Texas is the best. And like we always are top 5 program. It's like, no, you guys suck right now.
Yeah, I don't.
And everybody can see. It's the emperor's clothes, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's not just Arch.
No, it's not just Arch. Arch is making poor mistakes, and he's not doing great. But it's not just him.
He's a young quarter, and like I don't mean to like defend the enemy here, but like he's a young quarterback, and the line is just allowing him to continue to get pressured and pressured and pressured and pressured and pressured, and like look, we knew from last year he wasn't that great of a pocket passer to start with,
right?
He just wasn't,
right?
I mean,
his legs
is what makes him dangerous,
right?
And it's not to say he's a bad passer. It's just like, but that's the element that adds that allows him to be a not great passer. I'm sure he'll develop into one.
If he becomes an elite passer, if he could, it'll be dangerous.
But do you think if he was an elite passer right now that they would still be where they're at?
No,
I don't. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Me too. I'm like, I just don't see it.
Right,
they're not playing like an elite team.
No, so they've got other issues that they gotta work out, but. It is pretty interesting because this is one of those years where I think there has been so much movement from week to week to week in the rankings, which I don't put a lot of stock in the rankings. They are so weird to me to begin with.
Sure.
And it's so much conjecture, and there's so many factors that you have to weigh in, and some of them don't make sense. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the rankings are still there, and they are the metric. So I'm going to go off the metric, and the fact that you had a number 1 team that is no longer in the top 25, you had a top 5 team that's no longer in the 25, you have teams that were ranked in the 20s that are now in the top 10.
Yep.
Like, there has been a massive amount of topsy-turvy happening, and it's more so than I remember.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah, I like it. It's like every week I'm going, what is happening?
Yeah.
You know?
The other thing that I'm a little giddy about is Red Rivers this week.
Oh yeah, it is.
And I really think Texas could wreck OU's world.
They're always going to pull something out.
Yep.
I mean, this is the biggest rivalry in college
it's like the
football
only
almost.
time I really ever root for Texas is when they play OU.
In the South,
Yeah.
especially in the Texas, Oklahoma area, it is the largest rivalry that's out there, because as much as A&M and Texas is a rivalry, it's not the same as OU and Texas when it comes to football. I know there's Michigan State and Michigan, and I know there's, these other things that are
Clemson,
out
South Carolina.
Yeah, there's some out there.
Florida.
For us,
Right.
for what I grew up with, from what I remember of my life, Texas OU has always been a big deal. And I think you're right. This weird stuff always happens in that game.
Yeah, because I mean,
So-
OU's sitting up on top of a hill right now.
They are.
And Texas would love nothing more than to knock them both off to the bottom.
Well, and a lot of other people too. A lot of other people.
Yeah.
So
It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun.
I'm excited about it. So
That's
anyway, so we've got. Let's talk about this story out of Florida real quick, because
Okay.
I think that's kind of a fun one. And but anyway, there is a Florida congressman or state rep, Juan Carlos Porras. He's a Republican out of Miami. He is out there talking a lot right now about HOAs being a failed experiment, and that the state of Florida actually needs to ban them.
So, okay, before you go any further, a failed experiment that's been how many years in the making?
That's actually a good question.
Like, this is not something that was like, hey, we've tried this over the last 10 years and let's see if it's going to work out. We've had HOAs for I'm guessing it's been 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, especially in these large cities. Now, small cities, they don't really do that kind of thing. But in the large cities, there's a reason that they came into place, and it's been a long time.
So the first formal HOA is generally recognized to be the Hunt Country Club in Rye, New York, established in 1938.
Okay, so we're 100 years almost.
So it didn't really become prevalent until the 1950s and 1960s, though.
Okay, so I'm not too far off, but like, it's been 90 years since the first one came into place.
Yeah.
That would be the experiment, right? But even the 60s and 70s, I mean, we're 60 years
60, 70 years.
removed from that.
Right.
This is no longer an experiment.
Well, and like I think we could probably all agree that whatever happened in 1938 and anything in the 50s and 60s looks nothing like what we have today.
Sure, absolutely not. And not only that, the prevalency of it is nowhere near what it is today, because every neighborhood has an HOA.
Just about.
I mean, even our neighborhood, which is a much smaller neighborhood in not in land mass, but in house numbers, just because it's acreage areas. We don't have an HOA, but we have a POA, which is similar but different.
Right.
But they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Even ours being a POA, it's less restrictive than an HOA is in many ways, but it's still different.
Yeah. I think, one of the big problems with this story, at least with this guy's proposal, is you have things like, by the way, this article showed up all over the place. The one I'm pulling from right now is actually off realtor.com.
Okay.
You have the problem of gated communities. And how do you, Well, there's a bunch of problems. One, property management companies are just going to cry foul right off the bat.
100%.
How dare
Because
you? You can't do this.
They make so much money
Yes.
off of this because right now our dues are stupid cheap because it's run by the people that live there.
Yep.
We are in a place right now where they just our last POA meeting, which was a few weeks ago, where they said a lot of the people, there's like 3 people on the board. They're getting old. And they're like, look, if we don't find someone else to take our place, we're going to have to hire it out.
Yep.
And it'll quadruple the amount of money we got to spend. And it'll have to be farmed out to a property management company.
Yep.
And
our neighborhood's actually talking about doing that right now. And I keep telling them, I'm like, you guys can do this, but I don't think you know what you're inviting in the door.
That's the problem.
And I'm not speaking ill of property management companies. Like they do what they do and they do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But like right now, we have a lot of benefits by not having a property management company come in and tell us what to do. Well, the problem is we've got some good old boys in our neighborhood that have decided that they're just going to continue to do good old boy stuff, and it's pissing some people off.
Yeah.
And the way to solve that is to have an intermediary.
Yep. Well, you take out the problem of it's your next door neighbor that is the person coming down on you.
Yep.
Now it's a business, it's a company coming down on you, and they can do it differently.
So here's I mean, like when you start bringing in property management companies, here's the problem. And like I'm not saying that rules shouldn't be followed, but you lose the ability to have any understanding for the rules.
Yeah.
Meaning, if my neighbor is having a hard time and they can't pay their dues or they can't mow their grass or something like that. And, if I'm a good neighbor, I'm like, when it comes to like grass mowing and stuff like that, if my neighbor's struggling, if it's a widow woman, I'm going to go mow the grass for her.
Get it taken care of.
Right. So, but, say she doesn't have good neighbors.
Yeah.
And she can't get her grass mowed. She's too old to do it. And the HOA comes down and says, you got to mow your grass. And if you don't, we're going to put a lien on it. We're going to hire a company and do it ourselves.
Right.
Like you lose the ability within a community to offer that kind of understanding to somebody.
Yeah.
And say, hey, like as a community, we're going to come together and take care of you.
You lose being a community in many ways.
Yep. You don't have to go across the street and talk to your neighbor anymore because you can just like send the management company photos of the things you don't like, and then they're going to come harass them.
Yep.
And I know, again, it's legal to do that right now because there are HOAs, which I think is exactly what this guy's talking about.
So another thing that is a problem though is you mentioned a gated community. As soon as you put a gate up,
yep.
You know who's responsible for the road?
The people within.
Yep. So if it's a city, a city road or a state road or whatever the road is, as soon as you put a gate up, you are responsible for the maintenance there within.
Mm-hmm.
So you take away HOAs, you have to do something about the gate.
Yep.
Like, what are you going to do with all of that? And there are hundreds of gated communities.
Oh, in Florida in particular.
Yeah. So our neighborhood has resisted putting up a gate because we don't want to maintain the road.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about jacking up prices of what you got to pay for. You know how much it takes to maintain a road?
It's really expensive.
It's really expensive. And guess what? I'm already paying taxes.
Yep.
And that's what my taxes go to, or at least part of it. So, like, if I'm paying taxes and I got to pay for a road, now I'm double paying. It's a huge pain. So, like, that's another problem you've got. And I hear what the guy's saying, but these are two glaring problems.
Yeah. And look, they bring in a couple of examples, and there's this one gal, she ended up in jail because her grass was brown.
That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
That's a problem.
And I think it's examples like that that are just going to bolster his support. I don't know that he's got the right idea. I think exposing these power-hungry, board-sitting retired people that have nothing better than to comment on, like, the shade of blue that you painted your door. Mm-hmm. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, I think probably the better way to approach this might be to limit the powers of HOAs.
Yeah.
Rather than abolish them altogether. Because, I mean, like, you and I both know that HOAs do some good things. Mm-hmm. I mean, and prime example, man, in our neighborhood, we had some people that got grandfathered in. As you came into our neighborhood, there was this really busted up old trailer.
I remember.
And it's been there since we moved in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the person that lived there passed away.
Okay.
And so the family finally decided to just take it down.
Thank goodness.
And it's like there's like everyone in the neighborhood is cheering.
Yeah.
Not because this person died.
No.
But because this eyesore is now gone.
That's right.
And it was awful.
Sure.
And like they literally couldn't move the trailer. They had to just bust it
it was
up
rotten.
and just tear it into pieces.
Yeah.
Destroy it and then move it out in dumpsters.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing they could do.
Right.
And they're still doing it. It's taken them over a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they do good things, and maybe the answer is to limit the power. I don't know, because I understand the frustration of I can't paint my house.
Sure.
But like at the same time, you don't want your neighbor to be able to like paint their house pink and purple polka dots
Sure. And why?
just because it's ugly.
Well, sure.
But that's subjective. But like
It is.
it brings down the value of
That's the
the
reason.
other houses.
That's the whole. In my understanding of what a homeowner association is,
Protect the values of the home.
protect the value of the home. And so whenever you paint a house pink polka dotted,
Right.
Someone's going to be like, I don't want to live next to that house.
Sure.
And so the value of your house is lower.
Right.
Right. If the person next to you has 4 foot tall grass and there's a car in there, and guess who doesn't want to move in? Anybody.
Right.
So there is these things that a homeowner association does to protect the value of your home. So here's the question. Let's say 4 foot grass man next door won't mow his grass. Maybe he can't mow his grass. Maybe he doesn't have maybe he has mobility issues.
Right.
And maybe he has financial issues on top of it. And maybe he doesn't have any family who can come do it. And maybe his neighbors are going, you know what? I'm not going to help the guy. What do you do? Like what at what point, like you can go, here's what typically is going to happen. They're going to hire someone to come in and do it. Whether the guy gives them permission to or not, because now the homeowner association has the right, because you signed when you purchased that house, you signed the agreement on the HOA.
Yes.
So that is a legal document that is in your legal documents.
It should be in your file
it's
folder
in your
somewhere.
file folder somewhere that you signed agreeing to it. So now they've got the right to come onto your property to mow the grass. They found the car, maybe even move the car out of your yard. Who knows what they've done. They're going to put a lien on your home for the amount of that. To what end?
Yeah.
Like, if you rack up $30,000 in fees? I guess, but where does that money come from?
Everybody else in the neighborhood.
Everybody else in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Well, I'm not happy about that. Nobody's happy about that, but that's the way that happens. To what end? Now, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that the lady getting arrested because she had brown grass, it's a problem.
That's a problem.
And I'm not okay with that answer.
Yeah.
But to what end? Like, what happens? How do you just let this guy live there? And how do you allow him to rack up however many tens of thousands of dollars because you just continue to have to get someone to take care of it? So what do you do? I don't know the answer.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need more communities that don't have HOAs.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But the problem is people that are willing to develop these neighborhoods are unwilling to do it without an association.
Yeah.
So, and I understand why. They have an investment to protect as well. The way that you create customers in the home buying experience is you create incentives for them to move in.
Right.
Whether that be through services, there's extreme ends of this. I mean, you look at Blue Jack. Have you been out to Blue Jack?
I've never been out there.
Do you know?
I would love to.
It's gorgeous.
Sure.
And there's a really good reason. No one in Blue Jack owns a lawnmower.
Yeah, because you don't have to.
Because
you can't. You can own one, but you can't do your
can't
own
use
grass.
it.
Yeah.
The landscaping, not just the lawn mowing, all landscaping is maintained by the neighborhood.
Wow.
And they have it's like the whole neighborhood is a golf course.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in the sense like the whole neighborhood's a golf course.
It looks like a golf course.
They have a crew a landscaping crew that's hired exclusively for that neighborhood to maintain all of the golf course and all of the residents.
Right.
So that's part of your HOA fees.
Sure.
All landscaping, flowers, trimming the hedge,
Mulch.
all of it.
That's awesome.
And it's done so they can control it. They can keep it uniform, and it looks awesome out there.
You pay for it.
You pay for it. By God, you pay for it.
You paid for the house, and now you're paid
you probably
for
gave him like your firstball. I mean, I don't know, but like, yeah, you pay for it.
Yeah,
So-
of course. And I'm not against that. If that's the way you want to spend your money, by all means,
Knock yourself out.
Spend your money that way. But here's the truth. There are neighborhoods that have flourished for years and years and years with someone being able to park their camper in the driveway.
Yep.
And it's been fine.
Yep. I mean, my parents' neighborhood is a prime example.
Yeah.
It's an acreage neighborhood. There's no HOA.
No.
Now, there's some downsides to that.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that opened the halfway house down the street,
Right.
that was a problem.
That was a problem.
So, and he flipped everyone the bird when they went on Facebook and said, "What the hell?"
Yep.
And he said, "Yeah, you guys can buy me out. Just pay me 3 times what I paid for this place. I'll
Right.
be happy to leave."
Yep.
And
And you also have a zoo.
yeah, there's
their
there's a
backyard.
private zoo.
And again, that's actually kind of cool.
It is cool.
But if you don't want a zoo in your backyard, well, sorry.
Tough noogies.
Right. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm like, and that's the thing is like you move in that neighborhood, you should go in with eyes wide open.
Right.
Like anything can happen.
Anything.
And I kind of like that.
It's not going to change. I mean, that neighborhood's probably not going to change.
No.
And it's fine. But again, that is an appeal to that neighborhood.
It's an appeal to certain people.
To certain,
There's some people
right.
that would just drive bananas.
Of course. But if you're
but that's what I
looking-
mean is I think we need more communities like that.
I agree.
You know, where people can like they can put a stupid fountain in their front yard if they really want to. You know, they could dig a hole.
Yep.
I mean, like just, it's your property.
I think it's going to take something besides a development company owning all the land.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take the city owning the land or some investor that's like, look, I'm just trying to get the land sold, that maybe the city zones certain areas. It's like this cannot be restricted by an HOA.
Well, the reason you can't do it is because it requires so much infrastructure
Yeah.
to go in and build the roads,
Right.
put the plumbing in,
Right.
put the sewage in. I mean, all that's all the drainage and everything that has to happen. Like there's a big investment. The way you get away with it is when I think you start having 5-acre tracts that are and you start dropping wells
Yeah.
and septic systems.
Yeah.
Like that's when you can kind of get away from more of this HOA nonsense.
Sure. Because, like my neighborhood's a prime example of that. There's one primary road that goes through it. There's a couple of offshoots.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the city has to maintain.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But would much change in your neighborhood if like you guys just didn't have the POA?
No, probably not. There are certain, like, there's not that many restrictions, but what I will tell you, the
I'm not saying
restrictions,
it's a bad thing to have it. I'm just
no,
asking.
no, no.
Like,
The restrictions are a few things. There can only be one primary residence on the property. Well, that in and of itself is a pretty big deal because you don't have just a bunch of, people just renting out rooms in their house.
sure.
Right? So that changes the landscape of the community as far as who lives there.
Yeah.
That's part of it. You can't there's weird things like you can't have roosters in our neighborhood.
Oh, but you can have chickens.
But you can't have chickens either.
Oh, you can't have chickens either. Okay.
But that's again, it's a gray area because if you don't know I have chickens, who cares?
sure.
Chickens don't make any noise. So, typically. So I'm sure there are people in our neighborhood that have chickens.
Right.
But there's little things like that that would change. And would it be all that big of a deal for most people?
Yeah.
No, not a big deal whatsoever.
Yeah, and this is what I mean when I say that you lose the ability to have understanding. So I'll tell you what's happening in our neighborhood right now is I keep bees.
Yeah.
So there is a rule in our HOA that you cannot have any agriculturally producing animals on your property.
Oh, okay.
So now we can mince those words a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Because I don't sell honey.
Right.
I just I just keep bees.
Right.
And I do it for tax purposes.
Right.
And
you're one of the only properties in the neighborhood that can do that.
Yes.
Because of the size. You have to have
of
a
the
certain
size of my property.
And you're one of the,
I'm
you
the-
are the largest in the community, right?
I am.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm the only one that can do it.
Yeah.
Now there's another resident in the neighborhood that keeps bees,
Okay.
and they are near a park, and a couple of kids got stung.
Ouch.
And so now the HOA is filing a grievance
Okay.
against her
Yeah.
to make her move her bees.
Okay.
She is well aware that I have bees.
Sure.
And so they're going to probably make her get rid of her bees.
Okay.
And when that happens, she's probably just going to roll over on me.
Probably.
So I had some conversations with like some of my board members. Like, look, I get that that's a rule, and I'm kind of like standing on the edge of something here.
Yep.
But like, you make me get rid of my bees, and it's going to cost me thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like
Every single
every year.
year.
So I'm gonna be pissed.
Sure.
And they're like, we understand that, but like, you also need to understand, like, no one can see your bees from the road. No one
Okay.
comes near your bees.
Right.
We're probably just gonna leave you alone.
Okay.
And
Probably.
but like, here's the problem, right? Is now they're gonna make a big deal about this rule that was already in place. No agricultural animals, but you can have a horse.
I was going to say that, but they don't, I guess they don't produce
They don't produce anything.
So,
So, and I was like, okay, so what about a cow? Could I have a cow?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, no agricultural animals. I'm like, yeah, but like they have like Highland minis.
right.
And like, but it's still a cow. And I was like, yeah, but that thing's not producing anything. It's a pet.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, but no goats either. And I'm like, oh, okay, why? Like, I don't understand the rules. These make no sense to me now
Right.
because you're telling me I can have a dog,
Right.
but I can't have a cow that's smaller than my dog.
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
And like there's no chickens. And I was like, I know lots of
Right.
people here have chickens.
Right.
And you guys are just turning a blind eye.
Right.
Because you know it's a stupid rule too.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is when and like, if you're gonna have rules, enforce the rules.
But they're arbitrary
That's the
and they're not enforced.
And then they're used to target specific people.
That
not to follow the rule.
Yeah.
But because somebody is not following it the way that you want them to follow it.
Right.
That's what pisses me off.
That's not okay.
Yeah. So it's like, either do it or don't.
Yeah.
You know. So it's just annoying. I get this guy's frustration. He's swinging a big hammer
Yeah.
to try and solve a problem. I don't know it's the right solution.
Yeah. I mean, if he's trying to raise some awareness, I don't know that saying I want to get rid of every HOA in the state of Florida is probably, it may not be your best move.
Yeah.
But I see your point. Maybe there needs to be some regulation.
I doubt he's going to be able to get much support anyway.
No.
He says he's going to bring it before the close of session in January.
The problem is, so a lot of people really like HOAs.
Yeah, so there's some people that really do.
I mean, whether you like paying the fee or not, if you have the choice of paying a fee or having, unruly neighbors, you're probably going to pay the fee.
Sure.
It's not that big of a deal. I'll just pay it. And some places are more expensive than others, quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Ours is $50 an acre. It's cheap.
That's not bad.
No, it's really cheap.
Yeah, I think ours is like $220 a year.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing.
ours is $150 a year, so it's cheap.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, that's not the only thing we got to talk about.
No. So I forget how many weeks ago it was now. When you were out of town, we brought old Steve back in the studio.
Yeah.
Love having Steve on. And we talked about insulation.
Right.
And we talked about how we were getting stories about consumers being taken to the woodshed
Right.
by some pest control companies on replacing insulation. And I know there was probably a lot of people listening to that going like, yeah, whatever. Like,
It's one
little
thing.
off,
Yeah.
2 off, whatever. So we had somebody actually send us some communication from between their pest control company and their elderly mother. And this is from again, we're not going to mention the name of the company because we don't want to get tangled up in all that nonsense. Just know that it is
It's a company you've heard of.
you know the name.
I promise.
You've seen their commercials. That's about the most I'm willing to say.
Yeah.
But I wanted to read this note to you guys because we got brought in, our pest control company got brought in, and we're probably going to be able to solve this woman's problem for less than $500.
Okay.
And I say, and some of you are going like $500. Oh my gosh. Like that's not that much.
No.
Especially when you hear what I'm about to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to read it, and Kev, feel free to stop me at any time.
Okay.
I have some theories on this note, and I actually sent it to Steve to make sure that like this was just bunk.
Right.
And a lot of it is. Now there's a lot. That's the problem. Is there's a lot of true things in this letter. But I want one. This is an 80-year-old elderly woman living in this house by herself.
Okay.
Her daughter got brought in to deal with this pest control person, and try and get her mom's problem taken care of. And so you're going to hear about their interaction in the letter. But I just want you guys to have perspective when it comes to one. Like most of us are eventually going to have to deal with aging parents, and it's going to be difficult. And we're going to be brought in on situations like this, and we're going to be tempted to just make the easy decision. This guy says this, and let's just go ahead and get it taken care of.
So who is being addressed in the email? Who's talking?
The daughter.
So the daughter is being addressed, and the person sending the email is the pest control company.
This specialist.
The specialist.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep. So let me just start here, and I'll try and leave the names out as I see them.
Good luck.
Thanks again, dear customer. Thanks again for reaching out yesterday on your mom's behalf. I appreciate you looking out for her, and I would be the same with my 80-year-old mom. Without your mom having the service agreement in hand and you not being involved in the discussion yesterday, I can understand your reaction to simply seeing the costs. There's so much behind this issue, solutions, and in the way I put all this together. It is truly best to have these discussions in person, but as we may not be able to, I wanted to do the best I can in an email. To start, I want to assure you that I will never recommend a service that someone doesn't need, and this starts with a very thorough inspection and assessment. Once I've formed a sound opinion, I take time to discuss my findings and recommendations with customers without rushing the meeting or pressuring people. Your mom and I spent a lot of time in discussion about the issues and creating an affordable plan that would properly take care of the problem. At the end of our visit, she expressed her gratitude and seemed very content with the plan. My inspection revealed extensive disturbance in her ceiling insulation from years of rodent activity and a home that was not adequately sealed. With existing openings and rodent feces on the back patio, it is very possible that rodents remain active in her attic. If not, the pheromones will likely draw them back in. Following the classic process of mitigating rodents in homes or any building, you must first ensure that all possible entry points are properly sealed. If one gap exists, the rodents will eventually avoid traps and continue surviving. It troubled me to see that your mom only had a partial exclusion done and no ongoing coverage to get it done properly and to give her a renewable warranty for ongoing peace of mind. I wanted to set it up as a formal exclusion that she can renew for as long as she wants. Normally, we have to charge to full price for exclusions, even when part of the work has already been done, as in her case. For a home like hers, that price would be about $1,900. What I did was neglect the policy and finagle the program to price it at $833. This will include sealing all existing gaps, unlimited following up trapping, and 12 months of warranty. We will screen all of her weep holes every time, consuming, by the way. I guess very time consuming, by the way.
Okay.
Reseal her AC service lines and seal any other miscellaneous gaps, and even install 2 garage door sweeps. That's actually $1,200 worth of service. I was able to get away with this because she was getting the attic remediation done as well. About the attic remediation, her attic is contaminated from the rodent activity and is a major health hazard. It also contains pheromones that will continue attracting. I didn't say that wrong, by the way. I'm just reading it as it's written.
Okay.
I assume that means it also contains pheromones that will continue attracting rodents to her home, as I think we are seeing. Cleaning up after rodent activity completes the process of mitigating rat problems, just as you would clean your kitchen floor if a rat got in there. Most of the contamination from roof rats is under the insulation on her ceiling, where they live, and of course through it. Rodents deposit contaminants by dribbling urine where they travel, defecating via saliva where they gnaw on things, and through the birthing process. People can contract diseases by ingestion of a bacteria or virus directly from a bite or by breathing dust particles that come from dried urine, feces, or saliva. The latter seems to be the most common vector. Dust from the attic can enter the home in small amounts in various ways, including through the HVAC airstream. To mitigate the health hazard, to mitigate the health hazard, I assume.
Okay. Yeah.
To mitigate the health hazard, the insulation has to be removed. The empty attic treated with a disinfectant and pest control insulation added. This is the standard industry process as followed by the larger companies who are equipped for these services. The insulation we install is a high-grade insulation material that is fire retardant, highly energy efficient at R3.6 per inch, and controls 11 insects, including termites. This is the best stuff to use when you've had rodents in the home.
Are you having a hard time reading that with a straight face? I'm just curious.
Sorry.
I mean, let's just stop for just 30 seconds.
Sure.
To this, before you hit,
more.
Before you hit the pest control insulation, I'm sitting here going, this all sounds fairly normal. And he sounds intelligent. From just a person who doesn't do pest control. If I heard all of that as a consumer, I'm going, man, that actually that makes some sense.
Sure.
All right, continue.
Okay. You don't want me to talk about the insulation yet?
No, I think we want to come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
Because I hit a huge red flag whenever I heard pest control insulation. But
there
continue.
You go. Yep. Her current insulation is not only contaminated, but also below the minimum recommended R level of R38. We were actually going to install extra at no charge and bring her to about R40. This insulation is going to save her money and energy efficiency, prolong the life of her new AC system, reducing the risk of damage from wood-destroying insects, control roaches, earwigs, and 9 other common insects, improve acoustics in the house, give her fire protection. For 1,300 square feet of insulation, the industry price range is normally between $6,200 and $7,200. Our customers automatically get a special loyalty price of $4.50 per square foot for R38. That would put her price at $5,850.
Okay.
As I assured you on the phone, I really went out on a limb for her with pricing and dropped it to $5,200. And I've never done that before.
Of course not.
The paperwork shows $5,000, $1,900 for removal, plus $3,100 for install. As I mentioned yesterday, I shaved another $200 off to further help her with the required additional warranty for financing.
Thanks a lot.
The installation also qualifies for a 30% IRS tax refund. We weren't sure how her filing would accommodate the refund, but if it does, she would get back about $930. I can assure you that your mom is getting an excess of value for her money, and I've never structured pricing like this before. I was genuinely trying to help your mom get what she's needs and make it affordable. Also, our finance rate is 18% and easily completed in our iPads. I actually resorted to a manual agreement of an additional 1.5 of work to further help and reduce her rate to 8%. I then met with the branch manager yesterday to discuss her situation, and even though I had to admit that I priced the job a lot lower than permitted, he graciously offered to have 2 of her annual renewals credited back to her. As a final bit of good news, as you might have read in my texts yesterday, I had corporate review the financing numbers that were calculated by an app I used for manual agreements. Apparently, the monthly rate was calculated in euros for some reason. After they adjusted it to the US dollar and recalculated, it's down to $204. Your mom won't be surprised because we both had some doubt that that's what I sent in for review. If we continue with the work, I'll draw up a new paper agreement and swing by for her to sign it. Of course, I suggest meeting with you as well. The way this is set up truly favors your mom. She will get the rodent issue properly addressed, her attic cleaned up, additional improvements with the insulation, and have 4 years of coverage for a peace of mind. The work will also be performed at the highest standard in the industry, backed by a $6 billion company that isn't going anywhere. And she's getting it done for a lot less than what most people pay. With any company, about $1,600 less or normal competitive price. Thank you. Got time out for this email. I assume thank you for taking time to read this email.
Yeah.
Hopefully this provided helpful insight and answered questions you may have had. Please feel free to call me. Best regards, blah, blah, blah. Senior Field.
Now my turn for just a minute.
Sure.
First, I do not know how many times we have said in our, what's it been?
7 years.
7 years of doing this podcast. Don't ever take one person's opinion.
No, not when
Ever.
it's something like this.
No, never. You should always get 3, 2 if you can only get 2,
Yeah.
but at least 3, maybe even 4 opinions, and weigh them against each other. And ask ChatGPT if you have to. I don't know. Like take other people's opinions. This is a $10,000 bill from what I heard.
Sounds like it.
And that's a lot to make sure that I don't have rats. I would want some other pest control company to come in and give me their opinion.
Sure.
Here's the thing. If you went to the doctor and the doctor said, you have cancer and it's going to cost you $300,000 to cure the cancer, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like not what I want to hear. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear something else. And if I find that someone else has another opinion, great. This happens all the time. Cancer patients have different options, right? They've got different types of treatment they can go to. Some are more expensive, some are more effective, whatever, right? Do the same thing on your home. Make sure you get other opinions.
Yeah.
Don't just assume that this $6 billion company, which, why are you $6 billion? Maybe this is the reason. Don't assume that they're the only ones who have the answer. Number 2, I know for a fact that the highest you should pay for someone to add attic insulation. Now, the removal, that's another process, okay? But adding attic insulation, $1.50 to $2 a square foot. That's on the high end.
Yeah.
So this $4 that he is
$4.50
that he is giving a discount on,
Yeah.
graciously out of the comfort of my own heart. I'm just so gracious to be able to do this.
Yeah.
2.5 times what it should cost minimum.
Steve told me, like, right off the bat, he's like, I'd do it for $3. That's the industry standard. Right now.
That's removal and replacement.
Yes.
That is not just adding more. That is removal and replacement.
Yes. Yeah. So I had AI run the numbers on the financing because I didn't feel like looking up a
Sure.
interest calculator.
Good call.
So I mean, like, if it was over 5 years at 8%, she would end up paying close to $12,200.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's graciously taking another $2,000.
Right. So if you're, I mean, run the number real quick. If it's $3 a square foot, how many square foot is the house?
I don't know.
So I don't know what
We
it
could
is.
probably
either.
do some math on that real
Yeah,
quick.
you probably do some math on that. Here's what I will tell you: at $4.50 down to $3.
Well, what was
You're
it? I mean, hang on. We can
You're
do this
saving
real
a
quick.
whole lot of money just there right alone. Now let me tell you something else.
What was the total for the? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was it was 5,000.
Let's just do 5,000.
Just say 5,000. Now, while you're doing that math, let me just throw something out there.
Okay, so it's like 1,100 square feet, essentially. If I'm rounding down,
It's probably more than that.
I would assume 1,200.
Probably, yeah. It's
If it's
small
12
home, it's a small home.
1,200 times 3,
Yes, $3,600.
$3,600.
So you're saving $1,400 just by using someone that is not.
You're
this
paying more
company.
in interest.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're right. So here, let me just say something else, just so everyone hears. Look, Kevin is not a pest control expert.
Right.
Kevin is also not an insulation expert. But you know what? I have very good friends that are both of those things. And there is no such thing as pest control insulation.
Nope.
It does not exist.
Doesn't exist.
It is not a thing.
So here's the problem. Okay. There is insulation that contains boric acid.
Sure.
This is a thing.
Sure.
The only reason that insulation contains boric acid, and boric acid is a known pesticide.
Okay.
Will it irritate bugs? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't I just buy that stuff at the store and just sprinkle it in there?
Boric acid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You absolutely can. I don't recommend it, but you can.
Why would you? But you could.
I mean, look, you put boric acid in your attic, you ever go up there, it will light you up.
I'm sure it will.
Like it won't, I don't know that it will like hurt you. It'll just like irritate your sinuses
Sure.
and all that kind of stuff. But the only reason boric acid is in insulation is because they found that it reduced burn time by 25%.
That's pretty big.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it's there.
Yeah.
And again, not all insulation even contains boric acid.
Sure. Sure.
It's not like a standard thing that you have, but it's an option that you can have.
Right.
And I think what happened is these pest control companies, these large pest control companies, wanted to get into remediation because they understand there's good money there. I get that. We're in remediation too. We do a lot of it.
Yep.
There's good money there.
Sure.
Especially when you do a good job and you're honest. But when they started seeing, hey, this insulation has boric acid, we use boric acid
Yeah.
to kill stuff.
Yeah.
And it works. We can tell people we've got pest resistant insulation. And there's one, if it's a pest item, show me the label.
Yeah, that's one of the things that maybe is the most irritating thing to me out of all of this is if it doesn't show on the label that it is something, guess what it isn't.
Yeah. And like he says, which I've heard, this isn't the first time I've heard this, that it controls termites. Stand behind that. Stand behind that. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Your previous guest that I wasn't here for would just laugh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, do it.
Yeah.
I'll own you in 10 years.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, and part of me just, okay, again, Craig, not a pest control guy. I don't know much. I'll just say that. I don't think that termites live in insulation.
Okay. So one, there's some insulations. When you think about like the Pink Panther version of insulation, you know, like that's their mascot or whatever.
Right.
A lot of that's fiberglass.
Right.
Okay. It does have some paper on it. But there are like some of the blown-in insulations are cellulose.
Cellulose.
Which is what termites eat.
Right. So if you've got, here's the thing. Most people are not putting cellulose in their house anymore.
No.
It's possible. It is still sold. It is still put in.
Yeah.
And you know why? It's because there are people out there that have only ever had cellulose and they want what they've only ever had.
Sure.
So
it works.
And it works. But it is not what fiberglass is.
No.
And the fiberglass blown-in insulation is the industry standard when it comes to blown-in insulation. So most people are not having this problem with fiberglass because
Also,
that's what putting in.
Okay, and again, this is a national brand that we're dealing with.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not.
No.
Okay, around here, there's no termites in your attic unless you have a massive leak or something else that's causing them to build a carton up.
And why is that? I think I know, but please tell me.
It's because of the kind of termite.
Yeah.
That's really all there is to it. There are two kinds of termites that you can get in your attic, and they are damp wood and dry woods, at
Okay.
least around here.
Yeah.
Those don't even, they're not here
Right.
at all. Like, they're down in the heights,
Right.
and they're the kind of termites that when you get them, and if you have them really bad, that's when you have to like tent the house.
Sure.
And again, I don't even do that why? Because that termite's not here.
But here's the other
It's not
problem.
worth me being in that business to even treat those termites because there's nothing to treat.
Right.
So putting a termite resistant insulation in your attic in this part of Texas doesn't even make sense. Just besides the fact that it doesn't even exist.
Doesn't happen. but that's part of the problem though, is that like again, this is kind of where I was going with that comment that I made a minute ago about I don't know what I'm talking about, and obviously I don't.
Right.
My common sense tells me that termites are not trying to eat your insulation.
No.
Termites
It's like the last thing they want to mess with.
Termites want to eat wood.
Yeah.
That is what they love to eat. They're really good at eating wood, and it's delicious to them.
Yeah.
So if they're in your attic, it's not the insulation that's going to keep them from eating your wood.
No.
So
It's not going to stop them from eating anything.
This is just common sense that I'm trying to put into the equation.
Well, it's okay, like ish, but most people don't know doodah about termites.
Sure.
I mean,
That's a good point.
I mean, they just don't, and they shouldn't have to because it's not something that hardly anybody really has to deal with.
Right.
Now, do they cause a lot of damage across the U.S. every year? Billions.
Right.
Billions.
Yeah.
But it's because typically people neglect a problem or they don't know that they have a problem. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons.
Sure.
But you know, I think it's like $2.8 billion worth of damage annually, which across the U.S.
That's not that much.
not that much money.
No, it's not.
So yeah, it's a problem, but like it's just not something people need to know a whole lot about because there's guys like me and other honest pest control companies out there that know perfectly well, and they see it I found some today, which again, it's weird to find some right
Sure.
now this time of year, but they were active. It's the end of summer, the beginning of fall. It's really dry. It's just a weird time to find termites, but
Yep.
I found them
Okay.
because I knew what I was looking for.
Right.
And this spot on this person's home, they'd walked past that spot 1,000 times. Never would have seen them.
Yeah.
So
Didn't know what they were looking
yeah,
for.
but that's why this stuff works.
Yeah.
Is because you're dealing with people that they have no interest in termites.
They're preying on these people. That's the thing that maybe bothers me more than anything. They're preying on people because what I will tell you, again, limited knowledge, but I've had rats at my house before. Not my current one, but I've had them in previous homes. And the exclusionary process is super important.
It is.
I mean, if you have a problem, exclusion is important.
It's not the first arrow that you pull from your quiver, though.
Well, okay. Well, why?
Almost hardly because it depends on the situation, right? I mean, like there's so many variables that go into it. I mean, like, could it be the first arrow you pull from your quiver? Could be.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
Okay.
But most of the time, the traditional treatments work. Meaning, a Victor snap trap is very effective.
Sure. Those are great.
When they are placed properly.
Yeah.
You know, when they are loaded properly,
Yep.
when they're baited properly. And again, that's why there's so many variables involved with this. I mean, usually the first quiver that I'm pulling from the sack is traps.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
you really want them to leave.
Yeah, you want them gone. And most people don't have an infestation. They get like one or two.
Right.
And they don't want it to become 20.
Right.
And so you target the one or two.
Get rid of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you don't need to do exclusion work. You need to see where they're when you're doing traps, one of the worst things you could do in that situation is exclusions. Because
They're gonna
you no
stay in.
longer have access to the paths that they were working on a regular basis. Whereas it could have been really easy to kill them
Right.
and then do an exclusion if you really wanted to.
Sure.
But like it's identifying what you're dealing with, understanding their habits, and then proceeding from there. Not just coming in with you have a massive infestation. We need to remove all the insulation and close up every single hole, and that's the only way that this thing is going to get solved. It's like that's not the only way this is going to get solved.
Right.
I mean, and like plus, like she's 80 years old.
Right.
Like, is it really that bad in the attic? And also, like, you're telling me that because the attic has rat feces and urine, that it's getting into the HVAC system? That tells me something's really wrong with the HVAC system.
Really bad.
Because no air should be flowing in the filtered HVAC system from the attic.
No.
Ever.
And oh, by the way, he said it's a new system.
Yes.
So the likelihood that that's it is way unlikely. Yeah.
And why didn't the AC company say anything?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
No, because here's the thing. Any contractor that's actually worth their salt
yeah.
is going to notice things that you don't notice.
Yeah.
Part of it is because they're in places that you're typically not. So if you've got an HVAC system that is new, that HVAC company has been up in your attic where you haven't been.
Yeah.
And as they're doing stuff, they're probably going to go, you know what I saw while I was up there? I saw a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not the right person to help, but I would get it checked out if I were you.
Right. Not only that, if it's as bad, like, look, I mean, one, classic scare tactic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell you all the good things that I'm doing for you, how honest I am, and then how horrible this situation is.
Right.
And now that you trust me, I'm going to tell you how bad and that your mom, I mean, like what he's saying is like, if you don't let me do this, your mom's going to die.
Sure.
That's what he's saying.
Yep.
I mean, that's where he's leading her brain.
Yep.
You know, and if it's that bad, whoever the HVAC guy should probably be in the hospital right now.
Sure.
I mean, like,
Yeah, because he's been up there.
Can it be that bad? 100%.
Sure.
Is that the only answer? No.
No. Get a second opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, and now here's the truth. Maybe your second opinion comes in and tells you the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay to get a third opinion, by the way, but you start to see patterns and you start to figure some things out. Now, you also start looking at anomalies and go, okay, well, this guy said this, but this guy said that. So I don't actually know which one's which. Which one is better? Well, okay. At that point, you've got maybe some things you got to figure out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you told me whenever we first started this that you're going to fix her problem for $500 instead of 10,000 and no financing.
I mean, just based off what this guy's describing, what I know is going on at this house, I'm fairly confident we could solve the problem for $500 or less.
Yeah.
I mean, like not even a problem. And like this is the other thing is understanding the client. Like this is a single elderly woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's not rolling in the dough.
No, of course not.
Like she's not banking over here.
Nope.
Like she's on a fixed income.
That's right.
I'm going to solve the problem the most affordable way that I can. And this, skeeve bag is telling her all the favors that he's doing her, but like he's fleecing her.
Right. Oh, 100%. I mean, here's the truth. If you are an elderly woman living in an 1,200 square foot home, you're not rolling in the dough.
No.
And if you have chosen not to move closer to your family because daughter's not nearby.
No, she is.
Oh, she is.
That's why she's involved.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's just things in place that look around, dude. Like know your audience. Like that's a huge thing. Know your audience. Understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, goodness gracious, how he goes to sleep at night is beyond me.
Yeah. I hope it's in scratchy fiberglass.
Fiberglass is scratchy.
Or he can sleep bug free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why don't you just build mattresses out of the stuff?
Yeah, be fine.
You get no bed bugs. All these bugs are completely.
Yeah, just bathe yourself in boric acid.
No, earworms or whatever you call earwigs.
Earwigs,
Earworms.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Totally different thing.
Whoops.
I hope to one day write an earworm.
Exactly. Someday. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, please, as you are listening,
Should we post this? It doesn't mention the company's name at all.
Why not?
I mean, I can take his name off of it because I have his name and his mobile phone number, his position in the company, but I can take all that off because that's just on the. That'd be interesting to see the response to that.
Well, here's what the response would be. I almost guarantee it. You know what? We're not going to do it for that price. We're going to do it for a lot less.
Oh, if we posted it?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to tag them or anything.
No, but if they saw it,
Yeah.
they'd be like, we've been found out.
No, I
don't think so?
I don't think they do a thing.
Wow.
I don't think they do a thing. I really don't. What, like, why? Because if you address it, then when you do it again, people are going to know to send it to us, and we'll just call them on it again.
Which we will.
Yeah.
Please send. Look, we don't have all the answers.
And look,
this just happens to be something that you're really familiar with.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
here's the problem. I have zero problem with people making money.
They should make money.
Yeah. Your company should be profitable.
100%.
Like, if you do a good job, you should make money.
Absolutely.
You should have profit.
Yes.
The problem is this is dishonest.
Right.
It-
Even if the price was egregious, even if it was outrageous
Yeah.
for what you're charging, if you're being dishonest, that's a line you should never cross.
The cost on this doesn't even bother me at all. Like, I've reared back and asked for a bunch of money on stuff because it was a big project before.
Yeah.
You know, we've done massive projects. And I've never been afraid to make money off of them.
Sure.
But what I've always done is been honest about what it is that we're doing and what the results should look like.
Yeah.
And that when we don't meet those expectations, we're going to do something to fix it. This is just a complete farcical lie as to what he can even do.
Yeah, I mean,
particularly when it comes to the insulation.
right. That's the problem. I mean, because there is an outsourcing component of this, because the likelihood that this company is also doing the insulation work themselves, I don't know, maybe they do.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. But it's also a high likelihood that they're outsourcing that to another insulation company. So now you've got to make a little bit of money for managing the project, and you got to pay the insulation company to come in and do it. Okay,
And you got to pay for the product.
You got to pay for the product. Like I get it. Maybe $4.50 isn't as outrageous as it seems, because if you're managing whatever, right? The
I
problem
charge
is,
$6 if I get away with it.
Sure. The problem is the lie.
Yeah.
The problem is the lie.
The problem is the lie. The problem is the scare tactics.
Yep.
The problem is the target.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of problems. The price is not one of them.
No.
So, and like, look, I know these companies. I know that they're buying insulation companies so that they can have their own crews.
Yeah.
I know that they're buying or investing in doing their own financing so they can make even more money.
Sure.
On these things, so that they can offer financing and they're not having to farm that out to a third party. Because that's what that's what this is in-house financing.
Right. Right. They can do that.
Yeah. And we've done that for individuals in the past that, had a major issue and couldn't afford it. It's like, well, okay, rather than put this on a credit card, we'll let you pay this out over several months. There was no formal agreement. It was just, we just took care of that for them.
Right.
And didn't charge them, interest or anything like that. It was just like the price is the price.
Sure.
Pay us as you can. So yeah, it just reeks, man. It just stinks of everything that people hate about salespeople, and charlatans.
Yep.
So,
Get second and third opinions.
and like I'm reaching my boiling point on this stuff where I may not even care about the consequences sometime soon and just say their name. And it's not just one company, by the way. This isn't the only company doing this.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm not going to say. Here's the other thing. I don't want anybody to think that big companies are bad. They're not. Not all big companies.
not
are
universally.
Bad. What I will say is that the big companies are the ones you hear about most, because they have the money to do the marketing. They have the money to do the advertising on TV.
Yeah.
They have the marketing to be where you are. Okay, so they're spending millions to get your attention.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are. Here, this is just my own personal thoughts about this. I think that's going away because the platforms with which they can afford to spend big bucks to get their name out there are diminishing and going away.
Yeah,
I'm starting to see them move into new media, and it's
that new media is expensive too.
it is expensive, but it's not going well for them.
They're not. Well, because here's the problem. The smaller companies are already on that medium.
Yeah. Here's what I'm seeing though is, you take one of these big companies, you do an ad on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you do that, I mean, yeah, you can turn the comments off, but that kind of tells you something.
Sure.
But you can't do that on Twitter.
Right.
You can't do that on, maybe you can do that on Facebook. I don't know how it works with all of them now, but eventually people are going to be able to take your content and comment on it.
Sure.
And they don't care. And there's no, people can share their experiences openly.
Right.
And what we're finding through social media, you watch a commercial while you're watching a football game. I mean, and if you've had a bad experience with that, you have no recourse.
No.
That commercial is just coming at you.
You tell the person in the room.
And you just got, it's just whoever's around you is like, that company sucks.
Yeah. Okay.
They
Now we
screwed
know.
me.
Now the two of us know.
Yeah. And so, but they see that ad on social media.
Yeah.
You better guarantee that they're going to say something ugly and nasty. And every time I've seen one of these companies try and do an ad campaign on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, dude, the trolls come out from under the bridge and just light them a new one.
Yep.
And it does not go well.
No, I can see that.
And
I can see that.
that's why I think I think in the very near future, it's going to be more and more difficult for them to be successful. Not because they are completely bad.
Sure.
That all their employees aren't evil and all this kind of stuff. It's just because they have decided to just railroad people in the pursuit of profit, that enough people have had a bad experience. A person is 10 times more likely to share a bad experience than they are a good experience.
Absolutely.
And so now we have social media where people have anonymity to a certain degree.
Oh yeah.
And don't mind.
Right.
What are they going to do?
What do you do? Punch me in the face?
Yeah,
No.
come find me.
Can't do it.
It's going to become increasingly more difficult for them to advertise.
I guess my point is more of a don't just think that they're a big company so they have to be terrible. That's not necessarily the
that's
case.
fair.
The truth is there are a lot of small business owners that worked for large companies at one point.
Yeah.
And they decided to start their own company for multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not all horrible, but many of them are because I didn't like their tactic.
Right.
I didn't like having to be dishonest like this guy was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start my own business and do it differently.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. So, small business owners, we harp on it a lot just because we talk to a lot of small business owners. Are small business owners there's a lot of benefit to dealing with someone that just has your best interest in mind.
Yeah.
And the small business owner has to have your best interest in mind because they rely on every single customer.
Yep.
Where these big customers, if they don't get this job, it's fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Next.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But you matter to the small business owner. And while I know there's plenty of small businesses out there that shouldn't exist,
yep.
there's plenty of them. Get multiple opinions.
Yeah.
And if you have questions, ask. Don't just take some. Look, I know there's the scare tactic on this one is not just the health. While that's huge, part of it is expediency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to get this done immediately. Come on. You do you know how bad this is getting? And it's almost like you go, wow, I've got to get this done tomorrow. And if I don't, then I've got bigger problems. And now I don't have time to get other opinions.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not true.
Mm.
I mean, unless you got water coming through your roof,
yeah,
it's probably fine. You know?
Yeah, no, it probably
fine.
is. Yeah.
Get a week. I mean, you can call 2 or 3 contractors, wait for them to call you back if you need to. It's okay.
Like these
Calm
neighborhood Facebook groups are a great resource for people to, unless, some of these networking groups have gotten in there and infiltrated them.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll get bombarded with tags and all kinds of stuff, but you can always ask your neighbors, hey, look, who have you guys used?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and send us a message. We don't have all the answers, but we know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Send us a message. I'm happy to tell you the truth.
Yep.
I don't have all the answers, but I'm happy to find people that do.
Yeah.
And we'd be happy to do that for you. So Look, we could talk about this for days and days and days, but you've already been listening to us for a long time. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I appreciate all that y'all are doing. You're sharing our stuff. You're listening. We are rising in the rankings, and that's never been a goal of ours, but it is pretty cool to see that y'all are appreciating our content. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. That would help us out a bunch. And until next time, we'll see you later.
See you.